Welcome back everyone, JimmyJules153 with another episode in the Dreams Logic tutorial series. This episode we'll be taking a look at the laser scope gadget, how it can be used to detect objects, and what we can do with this. On the first page of the tweak menu, we've got the options to change the range of the laser. If we turn this up to a bit over a meter, you can see that the signal jumps to 100% or 1 as soon as the laser touches the cube above. We've just got the output hooked up to a number displayer that's showing on the right so we can see the signals that are coming out of it. If we turn up the fall off zone, the laser is extended, and the further the object gets into the fall off zone, the stronger the signal is. We've also got an option to have the laser point at tags, so we could for example have a tag at the end of the level and work out how far away the player is from the end. And you can tell it which tag to look for with the text box underneath. The hit something output is what we've got hooked up to our number displayer. This just outputs the signal that the laser scope is generating. The local space option will define whether the direction of the laser is in relation to the world grid or in relation to the rotation of the object. You can see that if we turn this option on, the laser rotates with the cube. But if we turn it off, the laser will stay always pointing in the same direction no matter which way the cube rotates. So what can we use this for? Well, we can use this to help a puppet navigate through a series of obstacles. If we jump over into the playpen and turn on the puppet like so, you'll see that he starts walking forwards. If we pop into the logic for the puppet, you can see that we've got a pretty simple setup going on. There's just a mover pointing forwards in relation to the puppet, making it walk forwards continuously. And this is set to pretty slow so we can see what's going on. We've also got a rotator that's set to make the puppet rotate clockwise or turn right. Our laser scope is just pointing forwards, and you can see that it's just set to a fall off zone, so that we get a percentage signal of how close the puppet is to the wall. The top chip up here is just the usual puppet logic that's been packed away, and the one under that we'll go through shortly. Finally, we've just got a calculator that's saying if the signal of the laser scope is greater than 50%, then activate the rotator to turn the character. If we play the scene, you can see that as the laser scope range gets closer to the wall, its signal increases and activates the calculator, turning on the rotator. If we delete our old laser scope over here, you'll be able to see the signal that it's outputting on the right from our number displayer. So that's good and all, but at the moment the character's just walking around a room in a circle, which isn't too impressive. So let's bring in some walls to make things a little more difficult. I'm going to turn the rotator we were using off, just so it doesn't interfere with what we're going to do. I'll turn on this microchip up in the corner up here, and if we scope in, you can see that we've got basically the same setup as we had before, but with two laser scopes instead. One of the laser scopes is pointing to the puppet's right, and the other is pointing to the puppet's left. These calculators are just checking whether there's any signal coming from the laser scope and telling the puppet to turn away from that direction with the rotators. If we play the scene here, you can see the lasers that are hitting the walls are turning on and rotating the puppet away from that direction. That's all for the laser scope, guys. If you wanted to get into the early access, I certainly hope you did, and I'll see you in the next one.